Girbharadhari Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girbharadhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girbharadhari Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Shri Radharanath Ki, Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari Ki, Shri Radha Damodar Ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki, Diwali Dan Ki, Krishna Book Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Hare Krishna, welcome to this Sunday morning class. All those who are out there at home also who are listening. Today's chapter is the subduing Kaliya, the Kaliya serpent. And the chapter before that was the killing of the Dhanakasura demon. So the story goes, after they killed the demon, the boys and coward boys, and they were very, very happy that Krishna and Balaram came to the rescue. And they were playing in the fields, running around with the cows and cowherd boys. And it was summertime. Now you know what summertime in India is like. Anybody experienced that? Yes, it's like 50, can go up to 50, especially North India, if you're in the north of India, Vrindavan, Mathura, Delhi, all these places are very extreme in the summer. So this boy, obviously, because of the intense heat, they became very thirsty. And the cows also, they wanted to feed the cows some water. So they went to the Jamuna to drink water. But from this water was coming a very poisonous aroma, smell, taste of the water was poisoned, because in this river also lived a big naga, snake, named Kalia. Kalia was there in this lake. He was taking shelter in this lake. And from him was emitting this poisonous vapor. And as they drank the water, they kind of, presumably they were looking like they were dead. The cows, the cowherd boys, and even the birds that were flying overhead, because of the strong vapor of the fumes, they fell down dead from the sky. They just fell down dead. So this was the dilemma and there. So we'll read the story. I'll read the whole chapter, then we can discuss, because it's kind of. Before we read it, let's get we'll do the invocation for Krishna book. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Paimam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Paimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam. Thank you. Om Jnana Timirindasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumalitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, as the story goes, this is chapter 16. When he understood that the water of the Jamuna was being polluted by the black serpent Kaliya, Lord Krishna took action against him and made him leave the Jamuna and go elsewhere, and thus the water became purified. So this Kaliya wasn't killed, he was subdued. Isn't? Special mercy he got. When the story was being narrated by Sukadeva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit became eager to hear more about Krishna's childhood pastimes. He inquired from Sukadeva Goswami how Krishna chastised Kaliya, who had been living in the water for many years. Actually, Maharaj Parikshit was becoming more and more enthusiastic to hear the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, and his inquiry was made with great interest. Sukadeva Goswami narrated the story as follows. Within the river Jamuna, there was a great lake, and in that lake the black serpent Kaliya used to live. Because of his poison, the whole area was so contaminated that it emanated a poisonous vapor 24 hours a day. If a bird happened to even pass over the spot, it would immediately die and fall down into the water. Due to the poison effect of the Jamuna's vapors, the trees and grass near the bank of the Jamuna had all dried up. Lord Krishna saw the effect of the great serpent's poison. The whole river that ran before Vrindavan was now deadly. Krishna, who had vented himself just to kill all undesirable elements in the world, immediately climbed up into a big Kadamba tree on the bank of the Jamuna. The Kadamba is a tree bearing round yellow flowers that is generally seen only in the Vrindavan area. After climbing to the top of the tree, he tightened the belt cloth and, slapping his arm just like a wrestler, jumped into the midst of the poisonous lake. The Kadamba tree from which Krishna jumped was the only tree which was not dead. Some commentators say that due to being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna, the tree immediately became alive. In some other Puranas, it is stated that Garuda, the eternal carrier of Vishnu, knew that Krishna would take this action in the future, and so he put some nectar on this tree to preserve it. When Lord Krishna jumped into the water, the river overflowed its banks to a distance of 100 yards, as if something very large had fallen into it. This exhibition of Krishna's strength is not at all uncommon, because he is the reservoir of all strength. Of course, Krishna is also known as Yogeshwara. He is the king of all yogis, isn't he? If yogis can do so many wonderful feats, what to speak of Krishna, isn't he? Can do even more. He is the Yogeshwara. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan came out of the village to see Krishna. The assembly consisted of children, old men, women, animals, and living entities. They knew that Krishna was their only means of sustenance. While this was happening, Balaram, who is the master of all knowledge, stood there, simply smiling. Why was Balaram smiling? And everyone else was in anxiety that Krishna jumped in the water. What will be the outcome? Will Kaliya kill this Krishna? So all this was going through the mind. But Balaram was, so why was he smiling? Yes? Krishna will overcome. Yes. He was smiling. He knew the outcome. Yes, thank you. He knew how powerful his younger brother was and that there was no cause for anxiety when Krishna was fighting with an ordinary serpent of the material world. He did not therefore personally take any part in this sorrow. On the other hand, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, being disturbed, began to search out Krishna by following the impression of his footprints on the ground. And thus they moved hastily towards the bank of the Jamuna. Finally, by following the footprints marked with flag, bow, and conch shell, the inhabitants of Vrindavan arrived at the river bank and saw that all the cows and boys were weeping to behold Krishna enwrapped in the coils of the black serpent. Then they became still more overwhelmed with grief, while Balaram was smiling to see their lamentation. All the inhabitants of Rajabhumi merged into the ocean of grief because they thought that Krishna was finished. Although the residents of Vrindavan did not know much about Krishna, the love for him was beyond comparison. As soon as they saw that Krishna was in the river Yamuna, enveloped by the serpent Kaliya, and that all the boys and cows were lamenting, they simply began to think of Krishna's friendship, his smiling face, his sweet words, and his dealings with them. Thinking all of them of these, and seeing that the Krishna was now within the clutches of Kaliya, they at once felt that the three worlds had become vacant. Lord Chaitanya also said that he was seeing the three worlds as vacant for want of Krishna. This is the highest stage of Krishna consciousness, this feeling of separation. There's two states one can engage in. The state of vipralamba means in state of, what's vipralamba? Separation. And there's the other state of meeting called sambhog. Sambhog and vipralamba. So yeah, they're feeling this, they're thinking that Krishna is gone and they're feeling this separation already. Almost all of the inhabitants of Vrindavan had the highest ecstatic love for Krishna. When Mother Yasoda arrived, she wanted to enter the river Yamuna. This is typical of a mother, isn't it? My son is there and no one is doing anything, and she became very desperate. She was prepared to even go into the water to bring back her Lala, her love, the apple of her eye. And being checked, the people, they prevented her from going. She was checked. She fainted. The friends who were equally aggrieved were shedding tears like torrents of rain or waves of the river. But in order to bring Mother Yasoda to consciousness, they began to speak loudly about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. Mother Yasoda remained still, as if dead, because the consciousness was concentrated on the face of Krishna. Nanda and all the other cowherd men who had dedicated everything, including their lives, to Krishna were ready to enter the waters of the Jamuna. But Lord Balaram checked them because he was in perfect knowledge that there was no danger. The big brother is the backstop, isn't it? Balaram is very strong. Bala means strength. He has amazing strength, isn't it? And therefore, in the last resort, he would go into the water and protect Krishna. But he knew Krishna would manage himself. For 2 hours, Krishna remained like an ordinary child, gripped in the coils of Kaliya. But when he saw that all the inhabitants of Gokul, including his mother and father, the gopis and the boys and the cows, were just on the point of death, and they had no shelter for salvation from imminent death, Krishna immediately freed himself. He began to expand his body, and when the serpent tried to hold him, he felt a great strain. On account of the strain, his coils slackened, and he had no alternative but to let loose the personality of Godhead, Krishna, from his grasp. Kali then became very angry, and his great hoods expanded. He exhaled poisonous fumes from his nostrils. His eyes blazed like fire, and flames issued from his mouth. The great serpent remained still for some time, looking at Krishna, licking his lips with bifurcated tongues. The serpent looked at Krishna with double hoods, and his eyesight was full of poison. Krishna immediately pounced upon him, just as Garuda sweeps upon a snake. Thus attacked, Kaliya looked for an opportunity to bite him. But Krishna moved around. As Krishna and Kaliya moved in a circle, the serpent gradually became fatigued, and his strength seemed to diminish considerably. Krishna immediately pressed down the serpent's hoods and jumped on them. The Lord's lotus feet became tinged with the red from the rays of the jewels on the snake's hoods. Then he, who is the original artist of fine arts, such as dancing, began to dance upon the hoods of the serpent, although they were moving to and fro. Upon seeing this, the denizens of the upper planets showered flowers, beat drums, playing different types of flutes, and sang various prayers and songs. In this way, all the denizens of heaven, such as the Gandharvas, Siddhas, and the demigods, became very much pleased. While Krishna was dancing upon his hoods, Kaliya tried to push him down, and some of his other hoods. Kaliya had about 100 hoods, 100 heads. Imagine, and Krishna is dancing on all of them. But Krishna took control of them. He began to dash Kaliya with his lotus feet, and this was more than the serpent could bear. Gradually, Kaliya was reduced to struggling for his very life. He vomited all kinds of refuse and exhaled fire while throwing up poisonous materials from within. Kaliya became reduced in his sinful situation. Out of great danger, he began to struggle for existence and tried to raise one of his hoods to kill the Lord. The Lord immediately captured that hood and subdued it by kicking it and dancing on it. It actually appeared as if the Supreme Person of Godhead Vishnu was being worshipped. The poison emanating from the mouth of the serpent appeared to be like flower offerings. Kaliya then began to vomit blood instead of poison. He was completely fatigued. His whole body appeared to be broken by the kicks of the Lord. When in his mind, however, he finally began to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he surrendered unto him, realized that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, the Master of everything. The wives of the serpent, known as the Nagapatnis, saw their husband had been subdued by the Lord's kicking, and that he was almost at the point of death due to bearing the heavy burden of the Lord, within whose abdomen the whole universe remains. Kaliya's wives prepared to worship the Lord, and in their haste their clothes, hair, and ornaments became disarrayed. They also surrendered unto the Supreme Lord and began to pray. They appeared before him, put forward their offspring, and anxiously offered respectful obeisances, falling down on the bank of the Jamuna. The Nagapati knew that Krishna is the shelter of all surrendered souls, and they desired to release their husband from the impending danger of pleasing the Lord with their prayers. The Nagapatnis began to offer their prayers as follows. It's a wonderful prayer by the wives of the Kaliyas. O dear Lord, you are equal to everyone. For you there is no distinction between your sons, friends, or enemies. Therefore, the punishment which you have so kindly offered to Kaliya is exactly befitting. O Lord, you have descended especially for the purpose of annihilating all kinds of disturbing elements within the world. And because you are the absolute truth, there is no difference between your mercy and your punishment. We think, Jai Sri Sri Radharanath ki, Sri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Radha Damodar ki, Yasoda Nandan ki, Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. We consider that your punishment is your great mercy upon us, because when you punish someone, it is understood that the reactions of his sinful activities are eradicated. It is already clear that this creature appearing in the body of a serpent must have been overburdened with all kinds of sin. Otherwise, how could he have the body of a serpent? Let's say if somebody is very envious and hungry all the time, they will get a body like a snake or a scorpion, who are very envious by nature. The snake, although you may be so nice to it, you may feed him nice milk and banana and fruit, but without provocation he will bite you, because that's his business. He cannot help himself. Same with the scorpion. You try to give him shelter, he will still bite you, because they cannot help themselves. So therefore they in such terrible bodies, snakes. And so Kaliya, as is mentioned here, that he was very sinful in his previous life. And envy, one of the demoniac, in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna discusses the demoniac and the divine and the demoniac. And he mentions these different qualities of a demoniac person: lust, anger, greed, envy. These are all and there's more qualities that and they are endowed with. And then only by some purification, by the Supreme Lord, can they become pure from that. And this is Krishna's special mercy. Krishna comes to kill demons to purify them of their past misdeeds or their bad thoughts or the desire, the false ego. In so many ways, it comes for that. We are very much astonished to see how you have become so much pleased with the serpent, who evidently performed various religious activities in his past life that pleased everyone. He must have undergone all kinds of penances and austerities, humbly honored others, and executed universal welfare activities for all living creatures. The Nagapatnis confirm that one cannot come in contact with Krishna without having executed pious activities in devotional service in his previous lives. Bhaunam Janmanam Mante. Krishna is saying, after many, many births, he who is in knowledge, he comes to me, whether he was a demon, or whether he was a Mayavadi or atheist. Somehow they get the mercy of Krishna, and eventually Samatma, such a soul is very rare. Samatma Sadulabaha. He says like that. So, in the case of Kaliya, he is getting Krishna's tough love. The Nagapatnis confirm that one cannot come in contact without having executed pious activities in devotional service in his previous life. As Lord Chaitanya advised in his Shishastakam, one executes devotional service by humbly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, thinking oneself lower than a straw in a street, and not expecting honor for himself. Trinarapi sunichena tarohavo api saushnena amanena manedena kirtanya sadahari. This is the most famous of this is the third verse of the Shishastakam. And Srila Prabhupada said we should wear this like an ornament on our forehead. Thus, Trinarapi sunichena, being more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, expecting no honor for ourselves, but at the same time giving honor to others, free from pride, false prestige. In that way we can chant the holy names. Kirtanya Sadahari, we can chant the names constantly without any inhibitions. Yeah. Lower than the straw in the street, not expecting honor for himself, but offering all kinds of honor to others. The Nagapatnis were astonished that although Kali had the body of a serpent, as a result of grievous sinful activities, at the same time he was in contact with the Lord to the extent that the Lord's lotus feet were touching his hoods. That's amazing. I was reading one mag in the Back to Godhead last night, looking and Akrura's prayers. Akrura was dispatched by Kamsa to go to Vrindavan and bring Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. He was arranging a big festival, in Mathura, and he wanted these two boys, but he had other intentions. His whole intention was, his agenda was to kill these boys. But he sent Akrura, and Akrura, when he entered Vrindavan, he's saying, this is by one of the disciples of Radhanath Swami. He wrote this article. Fully confident of Krishna's mercy, Akrura said, today all my sinful reactions have been eradicated and my birth has become worthwhile, since I will offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, which mystic yogis meditate upon. Those lotus feet are worshipped by Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods, by the goddess of fortune, and also by great sages and Vaishnavas. Upon those lotus feet, the Lord walks about the forest while herding the cows with his companions. This is from the Krishna book, accepted from there, chapter 10, text 38. 10th canto, chapter 38, verses 6 to 8. So these wonderful prayers by Akrura at the lotus feet. But Akrura didn't see Krishna. Even initially, he was just seeing the lotus feet. He was on the ground, on the sand. And he saw all these. How did he know that was Krishna? He saw all the marks, the trident, the mark of the fish, different marks there that delineate Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. If you look at your palms, you won't see all these. If you think you have these under your palms, under your feet, on the soles of your feet. No, only the Supreme Lord, and of course, Srimati Radharani, Lord Chaitanya, these exalted personalities have these special markings under the feet. And so these lotus feet are worshipped by great sages, the Vaishnavas, the great yogis who are endeavoring to touch those feet. And here Kaliya is in all his he's come with an agenda to poison the river, but he was getting this special mercy. The Lord's lotus feet was on his head. How fortunate he was, isn't it, to get the Lord's lotus feet on his head. Then the Lord was dancing on his feet. So that was, and the Naga Patnis are amazed by that. The Naga Patnis are the wives. Actually, these are not ordinary snakes that your black mamba or your that you see in the garden snake. No, these snakes we're talking about here, they are celestial. They're kind of humanoid. They're like human. They can talk. They can. There's many articles that at one time these snakes are where you'll see every temple have effigy of a snake, isn't? That the snakes were actually inhabitants of the higher planets, Nagas, and they were worshipped. Even when in the Mahabharata is mentioned also when Bhima, the pastime where he was given poison cake to eat, isn't? And as a result of eating, Bhima loved to eat. He was a very voracious eater. He could eat 5 times. Whatever his brothers, he would eat all that. The total amount he could eat and still not be satisfied. This was Bhima. But, so the Kauravas, headed by Duryodhana, he didn't like Bhima. They had this rivalry, this sibling rivalry from very young. Although they were blood cousins, they could not stand each other. Duryodhana, because they know Bhima had such voracious strength even as a child. And while playing with them, he would break their arms in a playful mood. He would uproot trees and beat them. So there was a sibling rivalry, and they said, we have to get rid of this Bhima. He'll be a danger to us. So they knew he loved, and they baked this cake laced with poison, enough poison to kill 100 elephants or even more. And Bhima, when he saw this cake, his eyes lit up, of course. And who doesn't love cake, isn't? So when he had this cake, he became unconscious because of all the poison. And they said, now, while he's unconscious, there was time, so they tied him up with ropes and with heavy boulders, and they threw him into the river, thinking that he will drown. And that will be the end of Bhima. But, by his good fortune, there was, in this river lived these Nagapatis, Nagas. And they bit into him. And they said when the poison of the bite acted as an antidote from the poison that was in, and he neutralized the poison. And in this way he recovered. Of course, there's a whole story of how he married one of them. Also, it's in the Mahabharata, you can read that. And he had children from them also. And So he survived that due to the mercy of these Nagas. Yeah. So the Nagas are no ordinary snakes that we see around. No, they're very special, like demigods. They are. Where was I? Yeah, okay. Thus they continued to pray, "O dear Lord, we are simply astonished to see that he is so fortunate as to have the dust of your lotus feet on his head." They're speaking of their husband, Kalia, the wives of the... He is so fortunate to have the lotus feet of the Lord on his head. That is a fortune sought after by great saintly persons. Even the goddess of fortune underwent severe austerities just to have the blessings of the dust of your lotus feet. So how is it that Kalia is so easily getting this dust on his head? They're starting to wonder. We have heard from authoritative sources that those who are blessed with the dust of your lotus feet do not care even for the highest post within the universe, namely the post of Lord Brahma. That's the highest post one can achieve. We can aspire for that, to be a Lord Brahma. We may have been. All of us may have been a Lord Brahma in previous lives. We may have been demigods. We may have been in a snake body, isn't? Or in a body of a mosquito, fly, fish. We were in different bodies, plants, trees. But to get human form of life is the most valuable asset that one can become God-realized or self-realized by that. So how is it Kalia is so easily getting the dust on his head? They were pondering like that. We have heard from authority source that those who are blessed with the dust of your lotus feet do not care even for the highest post within the universe, namely the post of Lord Brahma, or the kingship of the heavenly planets, or the sovereignty of this planet. Nor do such persons desire to rule the planets above this earth, such as Siddhaloka, nor do they aspire for the mystic powers achieved by the yoga process, nor do the pure devotees aspire for liberation by becoming one with you. My Lord, so this is the mood of the devotee, and this is discussed by Rupa Goswami. What is the definition of pure devotional service? One is freed from all these anchorings of fruitive results, of fruitive activity, mental speculation, or by some mystic yoga, one may want some power like that. A devotee is not interested in all that. What he's interested in, he wants to serve the Lord lifetime after lifetime. That's his, how we can serve the Lord. This is the highest form of bhakti. Anya bilasita sunyam jnana karmarya navritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhakti uttama. Uttama bhakti means that topmost service which is free from the desire for fruitive results, mental speculation, or some result from some mystic yoga or any other process that falls short of pure devotional service. Anukul means it is favorable. It must be as Krishna desires. As Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama, as Krishna desires. So this is the definition that we should all aspire for as we advance in Krishna consciousness, to come to the point of Ananya Bhakti. Yes. Nor do the pure devotees aspire for liberation by becoming one with you. My Lord, although he is born in the species of life which is fostered by the most abominable modes of material nature, accompanied with the quality of anger, this king of serpents has achieved something very, very rare. This king of the serpents has achieved something very, very rare. Living entities who are wandering within the universe in different species of life can very easily achieve the greatest benediction only by your mercy. And Srila Prabhupada confirms here in the Chaitanya Charitam, he said it is confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitam that the living entities wandering within the universe in various species of life can get the seed of devotional service by the mercy of Krishna and the spiritual master. Brahmande Brahmite, it is a famous verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahmanda Brahmite Gunya Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasada Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. It is said that the living entities or in different species of life are wandering in this universe. But that disease, old age, and they're wandering, going up, going down, going up, going down in this constant flux of evolution, of samsara, birth and death. But he says of all these millions of souls that are wandering, one of them, how? By the mercy of Guru Krishna Prasada Pai Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed, Bija means seed, the seed of devotion, by the mercy of Guru and, only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna can we get that special mercy of, or the seed of devotion planted in the heart. So this is the special mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna. Thus the path of vibration can be cleared. The Nagapati is continued. We therefore offer our respectful obeisance unto you, our dear Lord, because you are the Supreme Person, who are living as the super soul within every living entity. Although you are transcendental to the cosmic manifestation, everything is resting in you. You are the personified, indefatigable, eternal time. The entire time force is existing in you. And you are therefore the seer and embodiment of total time in the shape of past, present, and future, month, day, hour, moment, everything. In other words, O Lord, you can see perfectly all the activities happening in every moment, in every hour, in every day, in every month, in every year, past, present, and future. Trikalagya, the Lord is known as, he knows past, present, and future. He's Trikalagya. We therefore offer our respect based unto you. You are yourself the whole universe, and you too are the creator of the whole universe. You are the superintendent and maintainer of this whole universe, and you are its original cause. Although you are present within this universe by your three qualitative incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar. The Lord incarnates in these guna avatars. These are expansions of the Lord as Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu in this material world. You are transcendental to the material creation, although you are the cause of the appearance of all kinds of living entities, their senses, their lives, their minds, their intelligence. You are to be realized by your internal energy. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisance unto you. So we can see by this realization of the Nagapatnis that they were very well in knowledge, isn't it? They knew all these things about the Lord. So they weren't just ordinary snakes, and very elevated souls themselves. You are to be realized by your internal energy. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisance unto you, who are unlimited, finer than the finest, the center of all creation, and the knower of everything. Different varieties of philosophical speculations try to reach you. You are the ultimate goal of all philosophical efforts. And it is actually only you who are described by all philosophies and by different kinds of doctrines. Let us offer our respectful obeisance unto you, because you are the origin of all scriptures and the source of knowledge. You are the root of all evidences, and you are the supreme person who can bestow upon us the supreme knowledge. You are the cause of all kinds of desires, and you are the cause of all kinds of satisfaction. You are the Vedas personified. Therefore, we offer you our respectful obeisances. Our dear Lord, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, and you are also the supreme enjoyer. You have now appeared as the son of Vasudeva, who is a manifestation of the state of pure goodness. So this Vasudeva means in different connotations. Although he is the father, it also means a transcendental state, Vasudeva consciousness, on the transcendental platform, a state of Vasudeva, Suddha Sattva, pure goodness. You have now appeared as the son of Vasudeva, who is the manifestation of the state of pure goodness. You are the predominating deities of the mind and intelligence, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and you are the Lord of all Vaishnavas. By your expansion as the Chaturviya, namely Vasudeva, Sankishan, Anuruddha, Pradyumna. So knowing the Lord is quite something. Sometimes to know Krishna is not, we have to read about and learn about Krishna, how he expands as the Godhead, the personality of Godhead. What is the definition of the Godhead? Krishna expands, as there is mentioned here, as Vasudeva, Sankishan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These are the quadruple expansions of the Lord, how he expands. First into Balaram, then into Balaram expands into Sankishan, like that. And then the other avatars, we call, the Narayan expansions, the Vishnu expansions. For the sake of creation, the Lord expands as Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Shirodakshai Vishnu. So many combinations of Vishnus are there, but they are all expansions of this very same Krishna. How to reconcile that? This very same boy who's playing like a child, running around barefoot, naughty, stealing butter, is also the creator of this universe. Is one startling thing about we read in the Dhammarastakam about Kunti Devi, Mother Kunti. She's remembering how Krishna, you are running from the stick of your mother in fear, and tears are coming from your eyes. But yet at the same time you have fear personified, is afraid of you. How is that? You are running in fear from a stick, and at the same time fear personified. Fear personified is afraid of you. How is that? So this is God. This is God in all his... and we have to understand these things. How Krishna expands into his, for the purpose of creation. And of course Brahma also plays a leading role in that, a very powerful role in the creation of the universe. The Lord expands as Vishnu is the creator, and then there's sub-creation. There is which done by Brahma. Creation and sub-creation. What is the Sanskrit of that? What? Thank you. Sarga and Visarga. Yes. Krishna expands as Vishnu and is the original creator. And there is sub-creation by Brahma. Visarga. Thank you. Yeah. By activities, only the living entities become covered by forgetfulness or discover their real identity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. There's two verses Krishna quotes there. Mamai Vamsa Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. He's saying like that we are his part and parcels. We are his part and parcels. Ansa means a part, portion of a portion of a portion. But due to forgetfulness, we are struggling with this mind and the senses. Due to Krishna, due Kashati, struggling, we are struggling for existence because of our forgetfulness of our original identity. Then in the next verse he's saying, in the 15:15, what is that verse? What? I am seated in everyone's heart. And from me comes forgetfulness, knowledge and intelligence. Yes. I am the source of the Vedas. And they are coming from me. Yes. So these are evidences in Bhagavad Gita also. The Lord is sitting as the super soul in everyone's heart. And due to this presence, the living entities either forgets himself or revives his original identity. We can partially understand that you are within our hearts as the witness of all our activities, but it's very difficult to appreciate your presence, although every one of us can do so to some extent. You are the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual energies. Therefore, you are the supreme leader, although you are different from this cosmic manifestation. You are the witness, the creator, the very ingredient of this cosmic manifestation. We therefore offer our respectful obeisance unto you. O dear Lord, in the matter of creating this cosmic manifestation, personally you have nothing to exert. By expanding your different kinds of energy, namely the mode of passion, the mode of goodness, and the mode of ignorance, you create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic as the controller of the entire time force. You simply glance of the material energy, thereby creating this universe and energizing the different modes of material nature, which act differently in different creatures. No one can estimate, therefore, how your activities are going on within the world. O dear Lord, although you have expanded into the three principal deities of this universe, namely Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, for creation, maintenance, and destruction, your appearance as Lord Vishnu is actually for the benediction of living creatures. Therefore, for those who are actually peaceful and who are aspiring after the supreme peace, worship of your peaceful appearance as Lord Vishnu is recommended. O Lord, you are submitting our prayers. We are submitting our prayers unto you. You can appreciate that this poor serpent is going to give up his life. You know that for us women, our husband is our life and everything. Therefore, we are praying that you kindly excuse Kalia, our husband, because of this. If the serpent dies, then we shall be in great difficulty. Looking upon us only, please excuse this great offender. Our dear Lord, every living creature is your offspring, and you maintain everyone. This serpent is also your offspring, and you can excuse him once, although he has offended you, undoubtedly without knowing your supremacy. We are praying that he may be excused this time. Our dear Lord, we are offering our loving service unto you because we are eternal servitors of your Lordship. You can order us to do whatever you please. Every living being can be relieved from all kinds of despair if he agrees to abide by your orders. After the Nagapatnis have submitted their prayers, Lord Krishna released Kalia from his punishment. So on behalf of his wives, they saved him practically, isn't it? Because of their wonderful prayers to Krishna on his behalf. Krishna didn't kill him. Krishna banished him. And they say Kalia is banished to some place in, where is that? Fiji. Fiji. Thousands of kilometers away from India. In Fiji, there is a temple there that worships this. There's a Krishna Kalia temple there, ISKCON temple, that worships this deity, Krishna Kalia, where Krishna is dancing on this wood of this. There's a picture here somewhere. There, somewhere here. Where's that picture? Anybody can see it? There, yeah. There's it. Yeah, the third one from the altar there. You can have a good look at that picture. And they have a deity of that in Fiji. After the Okay, let's read. Kalia was already unconscious from being struck by the Lord. Upon regaining consciousness and being released from the punishment, Kalia got back his life force and working power of the senses. With folded hands, he humbly began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Krishna, my dear Lord, I have been born in such a species that by nature I am angry and envious, being in the darkest region of the modes of ignorance. Your Lordship knows well that it is very difficult to give up one's natural instincts, although by such instincts the living creatures transmigrates from one body to another. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that it is very difficult to get out of the clutches of material nature, but if anyone surrenders unto the Supreme Person Godhead, Krishna, the modes of material nature can no longer act on him. My dear Lord, Kalia continued, you are the original creator of the modes of material nature, by which the universe is created. You are the cause of the different kinds of mentality possessed by living creatures, by which they have obtained different species, varieties of bodies. My dear Lord, I am born as a serpent, therefore, my natural instincts, I am very angry. How is it then possible to give up my acquired nature without your mercy? It is very difficult to get out of the clutches of your Maya. By your Maya we remain enslaved. My dear Lord, kindly excuse me for my inevitable material tendencies. I surrender unto you. Now you can punish me or save me as you desire. After hearing this, the Supreme Godhead, who was acting as a small human child, ordered the serpent thus, you must immediately leave this place and go to the ocean. Leave without delay. You can take with you all your offspring, wives, and everything that you possess. Don't pollute the waters of the Yamuna. Let it be drunk by my cows and cowherd boys without hindrance. The Lord then declared that the order given to the Kaliya snake be recited and heard by everyone, so that no one need fear Kaliya any longer. Anyone who hears the narration of the Kaliya serpent and his punishment will need fear no more the envious activities of snakes. The Lord also declared, if one takes a bath in the Kaliya lake, where my cowherd boyfriends and I have bathed, or if one fasts for a day and offers oblations to the forefathers from the water of this lake, he will be relieved from all kinds of sinful reactions. The Lord also assured Kaliya, you came here out of fear of Garuda, who wanted to hit you in the beautiful land by the ocean. Now, after seeing the marks where I have touched your head with my lotus feet, Garuda will not disturb you. The Lord was pleased with Kaliya and his wives. Immediately after hearing his order, the snake and his wives began to worship him with great offerings of nice garments, flowers, garlands, jewels, ornaments, sandal pulp, lotus flowers, and nice eatable fruits. In this way they pleased the master of Garuda, of whom they were very much afraid. Then obeying the orders of the Lord Krishna, all of them left the lake within the Jamuna. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purport of the 16th chapter of Krishna, subduing Kaliya. Sri Krishna book ki jai. I was also remembering another special mercy of Uddhava. In the third canto, Uddhava is in a conversation with Vidura. And this wonderful prayer, it is a prayer, we'll read it. It's from the third canto, chapter 2, text 23, where he's remembering how Krishna killed Putana and how he gave a special mercy, although she came with such bad intentions. So the prayer goes like this. Aho bhakyam stanakala kutam jigyam sayapaya yada asadvi lebegatim datri uchitam tatonyam gamva dalayo sharanam rajema. So the translation of that, he says, this is Uddhava's prayers. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So he's remembering that pastime. And he's saying, he's giving glory to Krishna. Who can be more merciful than this, than Krishna. Who can be more merciful? Of course, in this age of Kali, Krishna is manifested as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't? And he is Namo Mahavada, his most merciful incarnation. He is regarded as that, as the most merciful incarnation of all incarnations. Why? He was giving love of God whether unrestrictedly, whether one is most sinful, he didn't make any conditions, unconditionally. He was giving this mercy even to the most fallen. Therefore, he is known as Patita Pavan, savior of the fallen souls. So we in this Kali Yuga, we all are very fallen, and we're very fortunate to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya in this Sankirtan movement. As long as we join this Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we'll be on that ship, the Sankirtan ship, and it will take us across this ocean of material suffering. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for listening. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Happy Diwali Dan ki. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Thank you, Hare Krishna.